In this video, I'll show you how to buy ETFs commission-free in Europe in 6 easy steps. Hello finance people, my name is Robert, and an ETF is just a type of investment that lets you buy many different assets at once. Let's imagine that all of these fruits are different stocks, and I could now go and buy lots of bananas with all my money, but there's another option, and it's called ETF. And ETFs, you basically just put a little bit of each of the fruit, and then you can buy all of it at the same time. Wait, is avocado a fruit? Huh. Yeah, technically it is a fruit. Awesome. Anyway, so the benefit of ETF is that if one fruit goes really bad and it just spoils, you have the other fruits that compensate. That way you distribute all your risk between all the fruits. Another benefit of ETF is that if you would just go and buy these individually, you'd have to pay fees every time you buy them. But now, since you're buying one ETF, you pay the fees once. And this works the same way in stocks. Or actually, ETF combines and tracks particular index, sector, commodity, or other asset. And in our case, we will be buying an S&P 500 ETF, so it tracks the S&P 500 index fund, which tracks the performance of 500 large companies listed on the stock exchange in the US. The first step is to choose the broker. I'm going to use the Degiro platform to buy S&P 500 ETFs. There are a few other brokers you can do this with, like Interactive Brokers. However, I like the Degiro as it has so many ETF options and the fees are low. Also, Degiro is a Dutch company and I like to support local companies. So if you don't have Degiro yet, then go to this link here or just click on the first link in the description of this video and just sign up. By using the link, you will also support this channel without any extra cost to you. Step 2 is to find the right ETF. Once you sign up and log in, you will see this Degiro dashboard. So let me search here for S&P 500. And you can see already that there's so many suggestions, and these are just the top ones. But wait, why is there so many options? You can see you have multiple Vanguards, iShares, and Amundis. What's going on here? Let me just first click on the ETFs here on top and then go to the all results. Actually, if you start scrolling, these are all ETFs. There's like more than 200 options for the same S&P 500 ETF. So what's going on? This all seems so confusing. So let's break it down. First of all, you have the brand name. So that's Vanguard, iShares, or Amundi, like in this case. So what's the difference between them? If we're talking about the most popular ETFs, then there's no real difference because it's like these two cups. I mean, they look slightly different, but they do the same job. It's more important that you learn what's inside the ETF and the risk associated with it. But you could also choose one of these other popular ETFs that tracks stocks across the world. These are like the top 3 most popular ETFs on Degiro. To make it easier for you, I will use a filter here on top. You see commission type and I can select free. So now we have much less options. Your list might look a little bit different. It just depends on your location as well. And keep in mind that at the moment of recording this video, it's free once a month and also free if you buy a second time in the same month, the same ETF, going the same direction, so long or short, and you buy with more than 1,000 euros, pounds, or dollars. So there's a bit of caveats for the second purchase. Otherwise, the fees will apply, which you can see in the table right here. So it's this TER. So check that this still applies on the Degiro fees page. I'll leave a direct link in the description. I'm going to buy the most popular ETF on Degiro, which is Vanguard. So let me add that in the search context. So here, I'm just going to add Vanguard. And you see, we actually just have one option. That's easy enough now. Step 3 is to understand the numbers. A few things about the information displayed in this table. The first one is to keep in mind the symbol, so VUSA, and you have also this ISIN number. And these are important because if you go to any forum like Reddit or other ones, you will see people talk about these. It's just something you can unique to this specific asset. Then you have the exchange, which in my case is Amsterdam Stock Exchange, and the price is also in euros. So this ETF is in euros. You could also find the same ETF in dollars or pounds. But if you need to convert money, there's a small fee in the Degiro. Right now, I think it's about 0.25%. And then you have the TER, which is total expense ratio, and it's the fee if you buy this ETF. In our case, it's going to be free actually. Now, it will get a bit more complicated, so grab some coffee and give yourself some slaps because you need to be awakened for this. You might be wondering, why does VUSA cost about 70 euros here when S&P 500 is closer to, I don't know, here it's almost 3,900. Don't worry that this ETF actually tracks the S&P 500, but they just have a different price point. Other ETF brands also have different prices for the same underlying index fund. But what still confuses me sometimes is the fact that this ETF is in euros and S&P 500 is in dollars. So you get these situations where you see S&P 500 went down by almost 5%, whereas the VUSA went down only 3%. So if you see this, it's because of the fluctuation in exchange rates between dollar and euros. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I want to show you that you have the S&P 500 obviously, and then you have another Vanguard ETF that actually is in dollars, and you see that they're almost identical. So this is for the last 5 days, and you see it dropped by 4.77%, and this one is 4.72. So these are almost identical when you have in the same currency. And if you're enjoying this video so far, consider giving it a thumbs up. That way I'll know you like this type of a beginner videos. Step 4. Decide if you want distributing or accumulating ETF. Imagine you now have teeny tiny slices of 500 biggest companies in the US. Some of them actually pay out dividends. In short, a dividend is part of a company's profit that gives to its shareholders, so those that have the stock. A dividend is a way for a company to reward its shareholders for investing in it. For more information about dividends, click on this video right here. I'll talk more about that. ETFs also pay dividends, and you can decide what to do with them. An accumulating ETF will keep the dividends and reinvest them automatically into the same ETF. On the other hand, a distributing ETF will pay out dividends to you, and you get to decide what to do with them. Now, there is no right way, because some people prefer to automatically reinvest the dividends to have more of that compound effect. Some want to see dividends coming into their account. It just makes them more motivated that there's a little money dripping in. But one thing to consider is your country's dividend taxation. For more information about the differences with examples, click on this banner at the top. In Degiro, accumulating ETFs have this ACC at the end of them. So if you open this up and you see product name, there's ACC. That means it's accumulating. The rest are distributing. Step 5 is to place an order. So I'm going to click on the VUSA, and it's the Amsterdam Stock Exchange because that's the free one. I'm going to click on it, and now I can see more information about this specific ETF. And here where it says position, this basically I already have this ETF. I bought 40 of them. And to buy more of it, I can click on the buy button. Oh, surprising. First, you need to choose when you want this order to happen. So here you have the day order and good till canceled. Day order just means it'll be canceled by end of the day, and good till canceled is there until, well, you cancel it. So I'm going to choose GTC since now it's weekend and I want it to execute tomorrow on Monday. Oh yeah, and keep in mind the exchange opening hours. So if you place your order at midnight on European exchange, it will be executed only once the exchange opens the next working day. Then you can choose the type of order it will be. For a limit, you see you have, that's the first option. You can set the limit. So let's say right now this one is at 70 euros. That's how much it costs. I'm going to say, well, when it drops to 69, then execute this order. And I can add here like 40, and you see it's going to cost me this much. But it's only going to happen once the price is reached. The other option here is market. And market order is like you buy the ETF at the market's current best available price. But keep in mind, it only can happen during the exchange opening hours. To learn more about the other two order types, just click on this banner here at the top. Let me do a market order because it's just simpler, and I want 40 shares of this ETF. Now I can just click on place order, and here on the right you see the summary of this. So I'm buying 40, order type is market, order duration is good till canceled, and from Amsterdam. And my right now estimated Degiro fees are 0, so that's great. If you have fees, you would see them here. And now if I confirm it, it actually doesn't show up in my portfolio yet, because you see here we have outstanding. It is outside the opening hours of the Amsterdam Exchange, so it's just there waiting until tomorrow morning, and then it will execute it as a market order. Step 6. Set a simple investing strategy. That's it, you've just bought your first ETF on Degiro. But without an investment strategy, even a simple one, you'll be just stuck with waiting for the dips, and you'll miss out on the best days in the stock market. That's why you should watch this video next to learn my semi-automatic investment strategy, because for people like you and me, the time in the market beats timing the market.